Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, All People, Beast Master, Unlimited Dissimilation Zerg Scourge. Chapter 1. This is a world where all people change jobs, and the heavens and worlds invade. Only by becoming a professional can you have the opportunity to control your own life. Yes, it's just a chance. As for those who have not successfully changed jobs, they don't even have a chance to control them. In the transfer temple, on the stage stood the gray-haired, plainly dressed principal of No. 3 Middle School. On the side, stood a professional wearing a gorgeous robe, wearing two extremely eye-catching rings that looked like pigeon eggs. The principal of No. 3 Middle School glanced at the students below with a smile, then turned his head and said, "Old Wong, it's you who are here to host this time again. I really trouble you. I don't know what I mentioned last time about increasing the resource share of the No. 3 Middle School. Is there any news from above?" On the other hand, the professional called Lao Wang, who is also the supervisor of the temple's job change this time, replied seriously, "The resource share will be decided by the higher-ups. Let's start when everyone is here." It seemed that he had no intention of being polite to the principal of No. 3 Middle School at all. However, the principal of No. 3 Middle School still maintained a smiling expression and was not angry. After all, the results of the 3rd Middle School have always been bad, and they have always been in the middle and lower reaches of Qingcheng, so it is no wonder that others are realistic. But the audience is bustling, very lively. I'm finally going to change jobs. I'm so nervous. I don't want too much. Just give me a combat class. Because of the subsidies in the past few years, everyone's physique has improved, and the job transfer rate is already high, reaching nearly 25%. However, excluding some life occupations and auxiliary occupations, the probability of getting a good occupation is still extremely low. I remember Senior GU in the last class. When he changed jobs, he had 4 jobs to choose from. In the end, he chose the rare job, Flame Thunder Mage, which also comes with an S-level talent. I'm so hungry. The principal said that it is not necessary to choose the best career, but to choose the one that suits you. You can forget it, it will be good to have it when the time comes, and you don't care what suits you. Among the crowd at this time, a pair of exceptionally bright eyes were staring at the stage. The boy's name is Bai Yi. He is dressed plainly, but his tall and straight figure and handsome appearance attract the attention of the girls on the side. Speaking of which, it has been more than 10 years since Bai Yi traveled here. The reason why he stared straight at the stage was because of this period of experience, which made Bai Yi deeply aware that this is a world where professionals are respected. 500 years ago, 10,000 realms invaded, and Blue Star's thermal weapons failed. Facing all kinds of strange beasts, it turned into a unilateral massacre. Fortunately, the emergence of professionals has saved the situation, and human beings have gradually gained a firm foothold. Until today, there is a clear stratification between people, and combat professionals are at the top of the class. Combat occupations are roughly divided into war, law, and shepherd. However, there are countless hidden occupations among them. There are still many new jobs emerging every year. And below the combat professions, there are some life professions, including forging, sewing, enchanting, and so on. Although it is a lifestyle occupation, there is absolutely no problem with being well off. And those at the bottom of the class are naturally those who have failed to change jobs. They can only become parts to maintain the basic operation of the city. If you have a good appearance, you may be able to become a vassal of the strong, but wanting to be valued is almost a dream. So, whether you can become a professional is related to your next destiny. Bai Yi had only read about it in books before, but he had never seen the process of changing jobs with his own eyes. At this time, Bai Yi didn't dare to miss a little detail. The job-changing god stone floating in the air on the stage exudes a charming brilliance, which makes people feel unreal. At this fateful moment, Bai Yi couldn't help but clenched his fists even though he was a human being for 2 lifetimes. Listening to the gaps in the chatting of people around, many people have already started changing jobs in the order of their student numbers. Li Kong, start changing jobs. Change job failed, next one. Shuai Zhao, start changing jobs. Change job failed, next one. The losers almost exude an air of despair. The boys could hold back their tears, and the girls all burst into tears. But everyone is not surprised. Bai Yi shook his head. Sure enough, this is reality. Zhou Zheng, start changing jobs. Bum. With the lighting of the job-changing magic circle, 2 professional light groups flew out of the job-changing god stone. Look, everyone, Zhou Zheng actually has 2 professions to choose from. I saw a tall boy named Zhou Zheng on the stage, and beside him were 2 professional light groups of different sizes floating. As we all know, when changing jobs, according to each person's talent, there will be a situation where a variety of jobs will be offered. Through the naked eye, it can also be seen that the white professional light group is basically a lifelike occupation. On the contrary, as long as it is a professional light group of other colors, it must be a combat-type occupation. And the bigger the professional light group, the higher the talent it represents. Zhou Zheng on the stage was visibly confused, clenched his fists and couldn't make up his mind. It's just that the choice is also limited in time, and it is impossible to keep you entangled. There is not much time left for Zhou Zheng to think. The red one should be a fighting profession, but it's obviously not as big as the white one on the side, which is a living profession. There's no hesitation here, just choose a combat profession. What's the use of a life profession? If there are only living occupations, then you can choose one. Now that there are combat occupations, why hesitate? That's right, if the job change is not for fighting, it will be meaningless. Zhou Zheng on stage. After a short thought, under the surprised eyes of everyone, he actually chose the larger white professional light group. Occupation has been chosen, it cannot be changed. Quote exclamation mark question mark quote. Am I not mistaken? Zhou Zheng actually chose a lifestyle career. What are you doing? Don't give it to me. Isn't it because you were afraid of fighting monsters, so you are lying? You want to hide behind and be a turtle. For the first time in the job transfer hall, boos were heard from the audience. Seeing this scene, Bai Yi was also slightly taken aback. How could someone really reject a combat career? Although it seems that in terms of the strength of talent, lifelike occupations are indeed stronger. But Zhou Zheng looked tall, and he didn't look like he was too timid to take up a weapon. On the other hand, the principal of No. 3 Middle School, after reading the report on the sacred stone, gave a different answer at this time. Everyone be quiet. Zhou Zheng, successfully changed jobs, occupation, blacksmith, A-level talent. Quote. Zhou Zheng's family has been blacksmiths for 3 generations. Many of Qingcheng's high-end weapons come from their family. It can also be regarded as providing a better survival guarantee for the combat professionals on the front line. Choosing a lifestyle career is not necessarily a bad thing for him. Maybe your future equipment will come from him. After listening to the explanation from the principal of No. 3 Middle School, everyone understood. The boos also slowly stopped. Although the booing stopped. However, old Wang at the side had obvious disdain on his face, and let out a slight sneer. And said, students in your 3rd middle school, don't you even have the guts to gamble? It's not bloody at all, and you still want the higher-ups to increase the share of resources for your 3rd middle school. Although the sound was not loud, all the students present heard it. Especially Zhou Zheng, listening to the boos below, was still struggling with whether his choice was right or not. The words of the principal of the 3rd middle school gave him a lot of confidence. But Lao Wang's words once again made his heart sink, and he became confused again. Fortunately, the principal of No. 3 Middle School has the same expression, without any trace of anger. He still smiled and said, it's still the same sentence, you don't have to choose the strongest job, but you must choose the one that suits you best. Zhou Zheng, since you have chosen, stick to your heart and go down first. So far, Zhou Zheng, who was confused, looked at many students in the audience who wanted to lean in and flatter him, and his eyes gradually became firmer. Especially inside, there is also the girl who refused her confession just yesterday, but failed to change jobs just now. At this point, obviously, the 2 people on the stage have different concepts of vocational education. The principal of the No. 3 Middle School obviously hopes that the students can choose the career that suits them best. But Lao Wang is a radical. In his opinion, only if he can pick up the weapon in his hand can he have a chance to fight back against the enemy. Especially the burly Zhou Zheng in front of him, instead of going into battle to kill the enemy, he hides behind to forge iron and sew clothes. What a waste. Waste resources allocated from above. Bai Yi watched the above scene from the audience, and he clearly felt the aura of this gorgeously dressed professional. When he just spoke, Bai Yi felt as if he was facing a dormant tiger, which could tear everyone present to pieces at any time. Still irresistible, even though the other party's aura was terrifying, Bai Yi stared straight at him and pursed his lips at the same time. Is this a professional? Lao Wang on the stage felt Bai Yi's eyes for the first time. Because Lao Wang had deliberately revealed his aura just now, the presence was silent almost instantly, and most of the students had expressions of fear on their faces. At this time, I didn't expect that there were students who dared to stare at me. Seems like a nice seedling. Next, look, everyone, it's the school bell's turn. You said, if the school bell fails to change jobs, then will I have a chance to kiss fangs? The student who spoke showed an idiot look on his face, but he was immediately greeted with ridicule. Even if the school bell fails, it's not your turn. Just you. Want to eat farts. Impossible, absolutely impossible, the school beauty cannot fail. Although the few people on the side didn't say it clearly, they all showed the same smile in their hearts. After all, it is possible for anyone to fail in job transfer. Bai Yi followed everyone's gaze. It was the school flower, Sha Qingshe. I saw her fair and slightly green face, no need to apply makeup, far surpassing most of the stars Bai Yi saw in her previous life. And the slender figure, paired with simple sportswear, and the black hair tied behind the head. The whole body of the school belle reveals a skill far beyond her grades. Even though he is only 16 years old, he gives off the feeling of being heroic and heroic. Bai Yi just glanced at Sha Qingshe, then continued to stare back at old Wang. Although Sha Qingshe was pretty, it had nothing to do with her. No, Sha Qingshe has nothing to do with everyone. In her eyes, it seemed that there was only the long knife in her hand. In the whole number 3 middle school, Sha Qingshe didn't have a single close friend, so she always walked alone. Don't look at her now that everyone is looking at her, but she is notoriously male-hating. Looking at the boy's eyes, it's like looking at the color of music. Even when she was on stage, Sha Qingshe still held a simple long knife in front of the principal of number 3 middle school and the supervisors of the job transfer temple at this important job transfer moment. In Bai Yi's memory, from the first time she saw Sha Qingshe, she never left this long knife. Even his small hands, which should have been delicate, were already covered with calluses from practicing long knives. It is not sure whether there will be a career that is suitable for long swords among the professions that have been transferred. Sha Qingshe has already started practicing long swords early. No one knows what she thinks. Logically speaking, one must not be able to hold weapons when one goes to the stage to change jobs. Seeing this, the principal of number 3 middle school was about to sound a reminder, fearing that Lao Wang who was beside him would be unhappy, which would affect Sha Qingshui's mood and state of changing jobs. Result: unexpectedly, the overseer old Wang was not angry because of this. Instead, he gave Sha Qingshe a positive look, and thought at the same time, is this the girl from the Sha family? Not bad, very good. If I can establish a relationship with the Sha family, wouldn't it be easy to climb up the ladder? Thinking of this, Lao Wang was about to say a few polite words to get closer. But I suddenly thought of the rules of the Sha family. All members of the Sha family must not rely on the power of the family before the entrance examination. So Lao Wang hurriedly took back the words that came to his lips. He changed his mind and said, Sha Qingshe, right. Just stand in the middle of the transfer circle, don't be nervous, just relax. The principal of number 3 middle school. When did this guy become so kind? As the formation under Sha Qingshui's feet gradually lit up. From the job-changing godstone in the middle of the magic circle, 6 professional light groups popped out in a row. Hiss. For a moment, the temple was filled with the sound of gasping for air. I'm going. As expected of being a school belle, there are 6 careers to choose from. Are they all combat-type jobs? None of them are life-type jobs. Woo, why can't I have one because I don't even have a job? It turns out that the professional light group can be so big. Is it too exaggerated? Just now Zhou Zheng's big-headed professional light group has A-level talents. Every professional light group in the school bell is like a washbasin. Isn't it the least S-level talent? Pity. What's the pity? You're not right. Hello. The audience was full of envy, but Sha Qingshe on the stage did not hesitate too much. After scanning the professional light clusters around him, he directly chose one of the dark gray ones. A burst of strong light came on, and Sha Qingshe, who was in the professional light group, accepted the baptism of changing jobs in the blink of an eye. Bai Yi shifted his gaze to Sha Qingshe again, and after scanning up and down, he couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. The calluses on Sha Qingshui's hands disappeared. Is this the gap before and after the job change? Without thinking about it, Bai Yi stared back at Pharaoh again. The principal of the third middle school looked at the information on the sacred stone, and there were more creases on his smiling face. By the way, let me explain, only the talent level of the professional will be announced on the job-changing God Stone, but the specific talent information will not be announced. The talent information of each professional is their own secret. Very few people will directly announce it. Before the principal of number 3 middle school could speak, Old Wang said first, Sha Qingshe, transferred to the hidden profession, Shadow Swordsman, SS level talent. Quote. Congratulations. The principal of number 3 middle school. You are not right. Hey. After finishing speaking, Old Wang looked at the principal of the number 3 middle school again. With an SS level talent, you have found a treasure in number 3 middle school. What you said about increasing the resource share of the number 3 middle school, I will remind you later. In the face of SS level talents, this is just a trivial matter. Just when Old Wang was thinking about how he should get close to Sha Qingshe, Sha Qingshe turned her head and left. She returned to the audience and stood quietly. Lao Wang hesitated to speak. Forget it, there will be another chance in the future. Next, Bai Yi. Finally, it was Bai Yi's turn to change jobs. Lao Wang also felt Bai Yi's gaze again. This kid seems to have been staring at me since the very beginning. I don't know why. As a third-rank professional, Lao Wang, whose level is over LV40, feels that Bai Yi is staring at him a little bit. Am I against this kid? The principal of number 3 middle school on the side saw Bai Yi's hostility at a glance, and guessed it in his heart, and hurriedly said, Xiao Yi, what are you looking at? Just stand in the middle of the transfer circle. Don't be nervous, just relax. Lao Wang scratched his head. Why is this sentence familiar? At this point, Lao Wang also guessed. The Bai Yi in front of him has an unusual relationship with the principal of number 3 middle school. The reason why Bai Yi has been staring at him must be because he just mocked the principal of number 3 middle school. In fact, Bai Yi has just traveled to Blue Star, and he still has a complete family. At that time, Bai Yi only knew that his parents were professionals, but he didn't know the specific strength. Although Bai Yi didn't get along with his parents for a long time, he still felt the true love from his parents. Until one day, after Bai Yi's parents went out, they never came back. At that time, Bai Yi was only 6 years old. Although he has the experience of the previous life, but the grade is there, he can't support himself at all. Fortunately, Bai Yi was soon adopted by the principal of number 3 middle school. Raised before birth, Bai Yi has always kept this kindness in his heart. In front of so many people, Lao Wang didn't give the principal of number 3 middle school any face. How could Bai Yi give him a good face? However, Bai Yi didn't make too much publicity. After hearing the words of the principal of the third middle school, he honestly moved towards the job transfer formation. After Bai Yi stepped in, the job transfer formation slowly opened. When the formation is fully lit, Bai Yi noticed that there seemed to be a wave of energy sweeping across his body from the job-changing godstone in front of him, and then retracted it. Immediately afterwards, a series of 9 professional light groups appeared around Bai Yi. Seeing this scene, Bai Yi was also taken aback for a moment. Fortunately, the time to choose is related to the number of professional light groups that appear. The previous Zhou Zhang had only 2 careers to choose from, which meant he had about 3 minutes to think about. Sha Qingshui's 6 professions will last about 30 minutes, but she didn't struggle at all. With so many careers to choose from before Bai Yi, there is at least 1 hour of time for thinking, which is completely enough in theory. But now, Bai Yi's face was actually a little stiff. Because Bai Yi has choice phobia, it is really difficult to make a decision when faced with similar items. Just like in the previous life, Bai Yi could struggle for a long time simply ordering a takeaway. It was hard to choose until I was no longer hungry, and it was after the mealtime that I reluctantly made a decision. Fortunately, knowing that the principal of the third middle school also reminded, Xiao Yi, you have plenty of time, think carefully before choosing, take your time, don't rush. He said he was not in a hurry, but the principal of number 3 middle school unconsciously began to pace slowly. It's like family members waiting outside the operating room. Even on the bright side, Bai Yi must have successfully changed his career, and his talent is still very good. The principal of the third middle school was still inexplicably nervous. No matter, read it again first. Bai Yi quickly collected himself and scanned the surrounding light circles. The size of the surrounding professional light group was almost the same as Sha Qingshui's before. This means that he is also very likely to awaken the SS level talent. After scanning around, there was only one professional light group that was smaller, and Bai Yi immediately started to look at the professional light group next to it. This is common sense taught by previous instructors. In the face of multiple professional light groups, look at the one with the strongest talent first, that's right. Hidden class. Earth Shield Battle. Talent. SS Grade Earth Barrier. SS Level Earth Barrier. Obtain a steady stream of energy from the earth, greatly enhancing the defense. Occupational Empowerment. Defense plus 300%, and Life Recovery plus 300%, Mana Recovery plus 100%. Well, very good. 4 times the defense power, the life-saving ability is excellent. The above description is only part of it. After changing jobs, you still need to develop the various magical functions of your talents. Hidden Profession. Luminous Paladin. Talent. SS Level Holy Light Blessing. SS Level Holy Light Blessing. Holy Light will give you strength. Occupational Empowerment. Light Healing Skill Strength plus 200%, Life Recovery plus 300%, Mana Recovery plus 200%. Well, this life-saving ability is also good. You can also heal yourself or your teammates, and the amount of milk is not even inferior to some powerful nurses. Originally, these two professions were nothing, but Bai Yi seemed to think of something suddenly. Quickly glanced at the remaining occupations. Hidden Profession. Crystal Wall Mage. Hidden Profession. Holy Light Guard. Hidden Profession. Holy Armor Warrior. Hidden Profession. Divine Tree Druid. Mud Horse. Why are they all tank jobs? Am I so afraid of death? Don't know my choice phobia. They are all such extremely similar occupations, how should I choose? Bai Yi was confused, until Bai Yi turned his unrequited eyes to the last career that was smaller by a circle. I go, no way, am I dazzled? 9 professional light groups, 9. Wait, let me count again, shit, it's really 9. Doesn't it mean that Bai Yi's talent is higher than that of the school belle? It's too exaggerated. Looking at the entire history of Blue Star, I have never heard of it. There are 9 professional light groups. One of us is a luxury, but Bai Yi is fine, 9. I'm tired, let's destroy it, I guess people are too picky. In the audience at this time, not only everyone was dumbfounded. Even Sha Qingshui, who had just left, was attracted by the professional light group in front of Bai Yi. There was a trace of surprise on Xiao's face, but she quickly shifted her gaze away and continued to fiddle with the long knife in her hand while studying the profession she had just acquired. Old Wang at the side didn't expect Bai Yi's talent to be so terrifying. And from the looks of it, Bai Yi seemed to be a little hostile towards him. For a while, Pharaoh didn't know what to do. I'm just an A-level talent. If Bai Yi really hated himself for mocking the principal of number 3 middle school just now. What if Bai Yi retaliates against him in the future? Presumably, Bai Yi's level talent is gone. The gap between A level and SS level is not small. As we all know, talent is not just a difference in its characteristics. Talent also determines the attribute gap that each professional will bring when he upgrades later. Occupational talents are divided into E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. The attribute points for each upgrade are 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, 10 points, 20 points, and 40 points. For your own A level, each upgrade is 5 points of assignable attributes, while for SS level, it is 20 points. A full 4 times the gap. Moreover, this is only a turn. Every time you break the professional shackles, the gap will only get bigger. This moment, old Wang was already thinking, how much hostility does Bai Yi in front of him have towards him? If he was just looking at himself unhappy, then he might forget about it in a few days in his grade. Thinking of this, old Wang looked at Bai Yi, who was tangled in the formation again, and saw Bai Yi scratching his head. Hey, Lao Wang felt that he was thinking too much. Is it because I have been busy with my job for the past 2 years, I have less time to fight monsters and upgrade, and I have become less courageous? To be afraid of a brat who hasn't even finished changing jobs yet. So what if he changed his job to become an SS level professional? With a population of tens of billions in the entire Dragon Kingdom, with this population base, every year in the Dragon Kingdom, there are not 100, but 80 people who transfer to SS level occupations. But how many can have the last laugh and become famous? Fighting against alien races is not just a joke. Maybe this Bai Yi will hang up after the next 2 copies. It's ridiculous to think so much now. Lao Wang didn't know what happened to him today. Would he think so much because of a little Bai Yi? Shaking his head, he cleared his mind. And Bai Yi has already completed his choice. Under the suspicious eyes of everyone, Bai Yi actually chose the smallest professional light group. Quote exclamation mark question mark quote. Seeing this situation, old Wang almost laughed out loud for some reason. Under the surprised eyes of everyone, Lao Wang said Bai Yi's choice, Bai Yi, transferred to Beastmaster, S-level talent. S-class, or the Beastmaster. The gap with him is only twice the attribute. It took him several years to complete the second turn. It will take at least a few years for Bai Yi to surpass him, and he will definitely be promoted by then. Thinking of promotion, Lao Wang still glanced at Sha Qingshe below with fiery eyes. Waiting for Bai Yi to take revenge on herself. Old Wang almost laughed out loud at this moment. The momentary joy immediately turned back to ridicule. Old Wang looked at the principal of No. 3 middle school at the side, and the sarcasm on his face was even more undisguised. Your No. 3 middle school seems to have a real problem with the teaching. Zhou Zheng from before didn't choose a good fighting profession, but chose forging division. Now there is another beast master who gave up 8 SS level occupations and finally chose S level. Don't you even have the courage to face the strange beast? What a waste. Originally, in your current class, you could get 2 SS level senior talents, but because of your education, now you have lost 1 SS level talent in vain. Now, you should ask yourself about the resource share. Faced with Lao Wang's ridicule, he has long regarded Bai Yi as the principal of the 3rd middle school. If Lao Wang said that to Bai Yi before Bai Yi chose a career, even the principal of No. 3 middle school with his current self-cultivation would definitely talk back. It's just that now, the word, Beast Master, has made the principal of the 3rd middle school unable to calm down for a long time. Because the principal of No. 3 middle school himself is a Beast Master. And what everyone doesn't know is that the principal of No. 3 middle school used to be a high-spirited and magnificent Beast Master. But now, he is just the principal of No. 3 middle school who is dying. Thinking back to Bai Yi, who was still young, I used to brag about how beautiful I was when I was young. Bai Yi, who was still young at that time, was still yearning for it at first. After listening too much, I became numb directly. Could it be? Bai Yi chose the Beastmaster for his own sake, and even gave up the other 8 SS level professions. Thinking of this, the principal of the 3rd middle school felt a little uncomfortable. And at this moment, hey, which profession should I choose? Does it have anything to do with you? Originally, Bai Yi was happy not only because he didn't have to worry about which profession to choose, but also because he got a great talent. As a result, I heard Lao Wang's ridicule. The principal of No. 3 middle school has a good temper, but it doesn't mean that Bai Yi has a good temper. Hearing that Bai Yi dared to speak about himself, Lao Wang was about to get angry and let the young people in front of him know what it means to respect a teacher. He even took out his own weapon, a gold-ranked staff full of enchantments. As a result, he suddenly felt an astonishing aura from the side. The principal of No. 3 middle school, who had been smiling all the time, exuded an extraordinary aura at this time. However, the aura was only aimed at Lao Wang, and it disappeared in a flash. Under Lao Wang's suspicious gaze, the principal of number 3 middle school changed back to his usual smile. Xiaoyi is young and ignorant, I hope you will not be angry, Lao Wang, I will definitely teach him a lesson when I go back. After finishing speaking, he did not forget to turn around and glance at Bai Yi. Bai Yi didn't want the principal of number 3 middle school to continue to humble himself, so he had to secretly remember this old Wang, then turned his head and walked off the stage. Next, Bai Yi, who stepped off the stage, took a closer look at the profession he had just chosen, the S-rank Beast Master. Occupation: Beast Master. Talent: S-class Beastmaster Heart. S-level Beastmaster's Heart. Increase the compatibility between professionals and summoned beasts, and reduce the experience required to upgrade summoned beasts by 60%. Occupational Empowerment: all attributes plus 100%, summoned beasts 4-dimensional attributes plus 100%. S-level talents, compared to the previous SS-level distant occupations, are indeed mediocre. The reason why Bai Yi was so happy was because, when Bai Yi was choosing, he saw 2 lines of small characters. Reminder: if you choose this class, you can get an SSS level talent gift package. SSS level talent gift pack. After opening, every 10 levels, 1 SSS level talent will be obtained. Originally, Bai Yi had a choice phobia. Those 8 SS level occupations are all defensive occupations. If he had to choose one of them, Bai Yi would probably bald his head. But after seeing these 2 lines of fine print, do you still need to tangle? Even if the Beastmaster doesn't even count as a hidden profession, every 10th level will reward an SSS level talent. Bai Yi, who stepped off the stage, didn't have time to think about it. The principal of number 3 middle school just for a moment seemed to be inexplicably handsome. Quickly opened this SSS level talent gift package. Reminder: open the SSS talent gift package. Obtain SSS level talent, infinite alienation. The SSS level spree is currently unlocked 1/10. Quote: I go. Seeing the prompt, Bai Yi almost jumped up on the spot happily. It's not just the joy of obtaining an SSS level talent. The main thing is the current unlock 1/10 behind. This means that there are still 9 SSS level talents waiting for him. As we all know, SSS level talents, upgrades will get 40 points of assignable attributes. 10 SSS level talents, even if you don't count breaking the professional shackles, you can get 400 points of assignable attributes for each level up. This is completely different from the 20 points with only 1 SS level talent alone. Of course it can't be counted like this, the current Bai Yi only has 1 SSS level talent. It can only be said that Bai Yi's combat power will become stronger in the later stage. Check out SSS level Unlimited Alienation. SSS level Infinite Alienation. You can fuse summoned objects with materials to complete alienation. There is nothing special about the literal meaning, similar to synthesis. But Bai Yi noticed that SSS level talent has no professional empowerment. That is, there is no improvement in attributes. Even so, it can be rated as an SSS level talent, which on the contrary shows how extraordinary this talent is. It seems that you need to try it yourself before you can know the specific effect. After completing the job change, everyone will get a career panel. Bai Yi thought silently, and opened the career panel. Professor Bai Yi. Occupation: Beast Master. Talent: S-level Beast Master Heart, SSS level Infinite Alienation. Level: LV0. Strength: 16 plus 16. Average of normal people is 10. Physique: 19 plus 19. Agility: 16 plus 16. Spirit: 29 plus 29. Skills: Beast Familiar Space, Taming, Soothing. Summoned Beast: none. Equipment: none. Comprehensive Combat Power: 2.5 stars. The attributes of Bai Yelv 0 are much higher than normal people. This is the resource share that the principal of number 3 middle school has been fighting for, and the improvement brought about. However, these resources are not infinitely superimposed. No matter how powerful a family member is, he cannot use unlimited resources before changing jobs. Without professional help, it is possible to blow yourself up. Although this data is related to the success rate of job transfer to a certain extent, it has no absolute relationship with the job transfer. Back then, there were quite a few aristocratic families who hoped that future generations could awaken to better professions. In the end, a huge amount of resources were consumed, and as a result, the success rate of job transfer was only increased. It has no effect on the talent of changing jobs. For example, 10 professionals could be awakened, but 20 were awakened in the end. But those who could not be awakened originally spent a lot of resources, and in the end they could only awaken low-talented professions. In terms of combat power, 10 cannot keep up with a high-level talent. Those with strong talents can be awakened no matter what, and those with weak talents, even if they are awakened, they are still garbage jobs. This cuts off the situation where many aristocratic families have no brains to spend resources on newcomers. It's better to save resources and cultivate high-level talented clansmen. This is a question of cost performance. As for the principle of number 3 middle school who wants to increase the share of resources, the real purpose is not to increase the success rate of job transfer. 100B level talents are not as important as 1S level talent. The principle of the third middle school is actually for the subsequent entrance examination. After the transfer is completed, 1 month later, the entrance examination will be conducted. Among the resources that the principle of number 3 middle school fought for, there was material that Bai Yi needed very much, which could alienate summoned objects. While Bai Yi was still thinking, a hand suddenly patted Bai Yi's shoulder. "Hey, Bai Yi, what are you thinking?" "Dad, I have successfully changed my profession. Hidden profession bloodthirsty warfare, S-level talent. How is it? Are you good? Dad will take you to practice leveling tomorrow and take you to fly. This person has yellow hair and looks good, but his eye sockets are sunken, and he is as thin as a bamboo pole. This person's name is Wei Zifang, and he is Bai Yi's only friend in number 3 middle school." Being photographed by Wei Zifang, Bai Yi regained his thoughts. Looking up and down, Wei Zifang still seemed to be hollowed out after the transfer. Bai Yi wondered, can you transfer to an S-level hidden class? Or berserkers? Feeling Bai Yi's disdain, Wei Zifang flicked the bangs covering one eye, and pointed his thumb to his nose. "Are you kidding? Who am I?" As if thinking of something, Wei Zifang held his chest with pain on his face. "No way. I just went up to change jobs, and you didn't even look at me. It's a pity that I treat you as a brother." Seeing that Bai Yi turned his head away in disgust, Wei Zifang was not angry either. "Continue to shake bangs. The beast master you transferred to, the combat power in the early stage is relatively weak, and the summoned beast has to be upgraded with you, and the upgrade is slow. But it doesn't matter. Who told us to have a good relationship? I will take you with me reluctantly." Hearing Wei Zifang's words, Bai Yi remembered that he didn't have his first summoned beast yet. Although the beast masters in the later stage can fight more and less, they are very strong. But without a beast master who summons beasts, it means going to the battlefield without a gun. I was only thinking about the material before, completely ignoring the summoned beast as the key. Touching his dry pocket, Bai Yi started to have a headache. Where should he get his first summoned beast? At this moment, all the students have completed the job transfer. The principal of number 3 middle school on the stage told everyone that in the next time, they should improve themselves and prepare for the exam, but also pay attention to safety. After all, there is only one life, and it is possible to live. Seeing everyone leaving in an orderly manner, the principal of number 3 middle school did not forget to say, "Bai Yi, come to my office." Thinking that his summoned beast had no way out, Bai Yi remembered that the principal of number 3 middle school was also a beast master. So he pointed directly in the direction of the principal's office of number 3 middle school, indicating that he would go there first, and then ignored Wei Zifang. Wei Zifang had no choice but to wave his hand, and responded, "Then I will contact you tomorrow, and then I will show you my ability." Bai Yi, who was walking towards the principal's office of the number 3 middle school, felt a different feeling along the way. The principal of number 3 middle school used to call himself so directly in front of all the students. But at that time, I hadn't changed my job yet, and I was always pointed at by everyone. In fact, it means that Bai Yi went through the back door, related to the household and so on. Although Bai Yi didn't care, but in order not to listen to those nonsense and affect his mood, Bai Yi didn't make any friends. Until later I met Wei Zifang. In Wei Zifeng's words, that means I make friends without looking at the background. Because in Qingcheng, is there anyone harder than his backstage? That's right, Wei Zifeng is the son of the Lord of Qingcheng. As for why he found himself as a friend, it's just that the other students all fawn on him, only Bai Yi doesn't fawn on him. However, after this change of job, no one dared to point at Bai Yi, who is an S-level talent beast master on the surface. Arriving at the office of the principal of No. 3 Middle School, Bai Yi pushed the door open and entered. There is only a table and 2 chairs inside, and there are a lot of materials and an old teacup on the table. At this time, the principal of No. 3 Middle School has not come back yet. But Bai Yi got used to it a long time ago, so he sat down on the chair and continued to study his panel. There are only 2 skills above, one is taming, and the other is beast master space. The skills are literal, one is used to tame the summoned beast, and the other is used to inhabit the summoned beast. At the same time, in the beast master space, the injuries of the summoned beasts can be well cultivated. Bai Yi probed his thoughts into the beast familiar space, and found that the space inside is not small, much larger than this office, about 10x10x10, about 1000 cubic meters. But it was empty inside. Bai Yi picked up the teacup on the table, and with a thought, the teacup was directly put into the beast monitoring space. It seems that the beast royal space can also be used as a storage ring. Compared with the carrying space on its own panel, the beast master space is obviously larger. Moreover, the backpack carried by the panel needs props to increase the size, and such props are not cheap. Beast master space only needs Bai Yi to increase the value of the spiritual attribute to increase the size. Thinking about it this way, the profession of beast master is really not bad. After playing with the water glasses on the table for a while, Bai Yi sat back on the chair. When Bai Yi was thinking about how to get his first summoned beast, the principal of the 3rd Middle School finally came over. Squeak. As the office door was opened, Bai Yi could recognize the footsteps of the principal of No. 3 Middle School without turning his head. But, gotcha. Bai Yi turned around suspiciously, only to see the principal of No. 3 Middle School lock the door of the office. Principal, what are you doing locking the door? In the beginning, Bai Yi called the principal of No. 3 Middle School the principal in order to avoid suspicion. After a long time, Bai Yi simply kept calling him that. According to Bai Yi's memory, the principal of No. 3 Middle School seems to have never locked the door. Here, take it. After several objects were placed on the table by the principal of No. 3 Middle School, Bai Yi stretched his head to look. I saw a whole set of bronze equipment on the table. Contains head, torso, hands, waist, legs, shoes. Except for necklaces, rings, treasures, and these accessories, everything else is available. It is reported that the levels of equipment are divided into whiteboard, bronze, silver, gold, dark gold, Baijin, diamond, epic, legendary, and god level. From the dignified principal's office, it is so simple, and a teacup has been used for several years, which can also tell the character of the principal of No. 3 Middle School. But thinking of the principal's action of locking the door just now, Bai Yi wondered, Principal, when did you figure it out? Snap. Unexpectedly, Bai Yi's words won a bang chestnut from the principal. Although it didn't hurt very much, Bai Yi still covered his head and rubbed it. What are you talking about? As an old man, you have to take out a set of bronze equipment, and you still need to fill your own pocket. Bai Yi thought about it, too. It's just a set of bronze equipment. Although the headmaster's previous bragging is not known to be true or false, but after decades of career change, a set of bronze-level equipment is indeed sprinkled. Even if the principal of No. 3 Middle School came up with a silver-level set, it's normal, but Bai Yi may not be able to equip it because the level is not enough. After figured it out, Bai Yi grinned and began to collect the equipment. Then I'll accept it. It seems that the principal is not a penny. Unexpectedly, this was not over yet. The principal took out an object emitting purple light again. Hurry up and put it away, hurry up. Before Bai Yi came to read the information above, he put it away first. The principal of No. 3 Middle School continued, I know, you chose the Beast Master just to save face in front of the old king. But hey, forget it, since you have already chosen your profession, then you should work hard. In a while, you go to Darunhua again, choose an initial summoned beast, and credit it to my account. Bai Yi, I'm not trying to save face for you. I am for that SSS level talent gift package. No, let's go now, choose to come back early, and have dinner together in the evening. Perhaps thinking of something unhappy, the principal of number 3 middle school rubbed his brows and immediately drove him away. Bai Yi is very familiar with this scene. From Bai Yi's point of view, it must be the principal of number 3 middle school lamenting his unrestrained youth. Without thinking much, Bai Yi turned and went out, heading straight for Darunhua. Without the summoned beast, he would have no way to go out and upgrade. He took a taxi, and in the car, Bai Yi checked the equipment that the principal of number 3 middle school had just given him. Guardian's helmet, Guardian's armor, Guardian's hand, Guardian's belt, Guardian's leg, Guardian's boots. Unexpectedly, it was still a suit. Bai Yi put them all on immediately, activating the suit effect. After hiding the wearing effect, Bai Yi looked at the attributes of the equipment, starting from the top. Helm of the Guardian, Constitution plus 4-5. Armor of the Guardian, Constitution plus 4-5. Hey, according to Bai Yi's understanding, for bronze level equipment, the top level stats add about 50 points. I didn't expect the principal of number 3 middle school to have a hand. These are all the best in the bronze class. Wrong. Wait, Bai Yi suddenly felt that this scene seemed familiar. So he immediately glanced at all the attributes of other equipment, and then slumped directly on the rented seat. At this moment, Bai Yi suddenly felt that his job change could not be manipulated by the principal of number 3 middle school, right? The previous SS level occupations were all occupations with outstanding defensive power. Now this set of equipment is all about physical fitness. The suit effect still adds 45 points to the constitution. Altogether, a total of 315 points of constitution. Me, am I really so afraid of death? Physique determines Bai Yi's upper limit of health, defense, health recovery, injury recovery, etc. It can be said that if the current Bai Yi goes to download a novice dungeon tomorrow, except for the boss, no one can break through his defense. It's not right, you can't think like that. It's not that he is afraid of death, but the principal of number 3 middle school is worried about his own safety. After thinking about it this way, Bai Yi suddenly felt that the principal of number 3 middle school took too much care of him. If this set of equipment is sold as a whole, it can at least fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the small best of the 2 silver outfits. Although it is only a transitional equipment in the early stage, there must be a lot of big money willing to pay this price to buy a safe one for themselves. The suit is not easy to put together. Bai Yi guessed that the principal of number 3 middle school must have started preparing this set of equipment for himself a long time ago. In the past, Bai Yi avoided this kind of relationship in school. But now, if someone points at Bai Yi again, saying that he goes through the back door, Bai Yi must have directly released the attributes of the equipment and pointed at the opponent's nose. What happened through the back door? Envious, do you have? Bai Yi was still feeling emotional. When he saw the purple equipment, his heart couldn't help but start to speed up again. After the principal of the 3rd middle school gave his baby to Bai Yi. Originally, I was worried that Bai Yi would play a trick and cause trouble. However, thinking of Bai Yi's quick-wittedness far surpassing his grades, he felt relieved. As for Bai Yi, guesses had already begun. Could it be that what the headmaster bragged to me before and what he said were all true? Looking at the prop emitting lavender light in the beast familiar space. Unexpectedly, what the principal entrusted to him mysteriously was a sacred object. Moreover, the light of lavender represents that this is an epic, sacred object. You know, everyone can carry a sacred object. The worst holy relic, its value exceeds Baijin level equipment. Heart of Kenglin, holy object, beast control space plus 300%, summoned beast growth speed plus 300%, recovery speed plus 300%, summoned beast is automatically recalled immediately when it is near death, and can slowly activate hidden blood. Hiss. Looking at the above description, Bai Yi felt that the principle was not simple before. Each of the above effects is extremely rare. Let's not talk about increasing the beast master space. It is extremely rare to increase the growth speed of summoned beasts alone. Summoned objects are generally divided into infancy, growth, and maturity. The resources consumed at each stage are not a small amount. Or use the simplest method and let it use experience points to upgrade. Of course, the most important thing is the time cost. With this sacred object, the cost of cultivating summoned beasts will be reduced several times. Increasing recovery speed and stimulating hidden blood vessels are also rare characteristics. And the automatic recall of summoned beasts that are on the verge of death is the strongest point among all the characteristics. Summoned beasts are not the kind that can be resummoned after they die. Once dead, all previous cultivation will become clouds. But now, Bai Yi doesn't have to worry. Tisk tisk, it is indeed an epic sacred object. Bai Yi estimated that the value of this sacred object alone must exceed tens of billions. If other beast fencing professionals knew about it, even those big figures at the 4th rank would definitely attack him regardless of his face. The principle of number 3 middle school just gave it to me. Really, rest assured. Durunhua is here, 13 yuan. The words of the bearded driver brought Bai Yi back from his thoughts. I used to be 12 yuan all the time, how come you are 13 yuan? It's not that Bai Yi is short of this 1 yuan, but to put it higher, this is a matter of principle. As much as you want, if you want to cheat me, there is no way. Durunhua is a simple place for professionals to trade. Not high-end, there is one every 2 kilometers. There are summoned beasts that Bai Yi needs in it, but they must be ordinary goods. At this time, Bai Yi thought of the principle of number 3 middle school again. Why didn't he directly prepare a summoned beast for himself, but let himself choose? However, if Bai Yi asked, and wanted to be the principle of number 3 middle school, he would most likely say that the summoner does not have to be strong, but one that suits him. Bai Yi said that although he didn't know the past of the principle of number 3 middle school, he at least knew his temper. Entered RT Mart. Bai Yi didn't go to see the summoned object immediately, but came to the place where the fish was killed. After habitually watching for 5 minutes, Bai Yi left. It's not for buying fish, it's just that Bai Yi wants to sharpen his mind. Don't be scared to vomit when you see some blood in the future. It has been repaired for so many years since Blue Star was invaded by myriad realms. The props needed by some professionals have become the same as daily necessities. Bai Yi asked where the summoned items were sold, followed the shopping guide, and Bai Yi arrived at the destination. What caught the eye was a row of summoned beast eggs of different colors. The specific information after hatching is marked on the above. A summoned egg like this can hatch with only a drop of blood. It is a bit different from using skills to tame in the wild. First of all, there must be a difference in the degree of danger of obtaining it. Here you only need to buy it and go home to hatch it. The summoned beast eggs hatched by oneself will become more intimate with the beast master. Not to mention the more dangerous ones in the wild, the tacit understanding with the beast master also needs a longer time to get in touch. However, most of the ones tamed in the wild are directly mature, which is relatively easy. Each has its own benefits. But Bai Yi currently has no fighting power, so he must not be able to tame him in the wild. His eyes quickly scanned the summoned beast egg above. Strong Pig, bronze level, 8-star combat power at maturity, priced at 25,000. Speedy Dog, bronze level, mature 8-star combat power, priced at 25,500. Little Fire Monkey, bronze level, 9-star combat power at maturity, priced at 32,500. Looking at the above information, according to the common sense of the previous life, Bai Yi must be wondering, how could these creatures be in the egg? But after getting used to the magical ability of professionals, it's no surprise. After scanning around, all of them are bronze-level summoned beasts, which belong to the entry-level level. Now, Bai Yi fell into choice phobia again. There is no way. Bai Yi can only ask the shopping guide, well, can you recommend it to me? The shopping guides here have all experienced professional training, and immediately gave Bai Yi a professional answer. You can refer to your combat needs for the selection of summoned beasts. For example, if your team lacks a front row, you can choose Strong Pig as a good front row. Quote. Or, if your team lacks output, you can choose Little Fire Monkey. Its long-range skills, Little Fireball, and Stone Throwing, can provide you with powerful output. Quote. Another example, As a shopping guide, he immediately gave Bai Yi ideas, which is indeed a professional. Bai Yi immediately thought of his own equipment. I can take the front row and choose a powerful output type summoned beast. While Bai Yi was thinking, the shopping guide began to show his abilities. After you have selected the summoned beast, you can also purchase R, nutritional liquid, to accelerate the growth of your summoned beast. Quote, buy together with the summoned beast, you can get 12% off. However, Bai Yi has the sacred object, Blue Heart, so the nutritional solution is not very necessary. Seeing Bai Yi's lack of interest, the shopping guide immediately noticed it. Could it be that he doesn't like these summoned beasts? Wrong. Looking at Bai Yi's clothes, he doesn't look like a rich man, and since he chose to buy summoned beasts here, his strength must not be much better. Considering his own commission, the shopping guide explained patiently, you should have just completed the job change, right? Although these are only bronze level summoned beasts, once you pass the early stage, you can completely train them. After thinking about it, I recommend you to choose Little Fire Monkey. As one of the few summoned beasts with attribute attacks, it has great potential. Quote, if you are short of money, I can apply for a job transfer loan for you. Quote, upon hearing job transfer loan, Bai Yi suddenly felt a burst of kindness. Gradually blurring Bai Yi's heart, the memory of his previous life was brought back. In his previous life, Bai Yi was an insect lover. At that time, he borrowed a flower loan for a very good-looking halberd beetle. At that time, Bai Yi was a little raccoon who gnawed on it for a month. Thinking of insects, Bai Yi suddenly realized, why haven't we seen this kind of summoned beasts here? Consolidating the memory, Bai Yi noticed that there seemed to be very few beast masters who cultivated Zerg. It's not that there aren't any, it's just rare. By the way, are there any Zerg summoned beasts here? Bai Yi's question confused the shopping guide. Because the shopping guide itself is not a professional, the only knowledge of summoned beasts is the training of Darunhua. So he blurted out, no, I've never seen any Zerg summons here. Because of the limitation of cognition, and the shopping guide has been working here for more than 10 years, I have never seen it. So he seriously suspected that Bai Yi couldn't afford it, so he deliberately made a fuss here. This situation is still very common. When you can't afford an item in a particular store and don't want to act like you can't. At this time, you can say, you don't even have this, so I'll go to another store to have a look. He escaped along the way and saved face. Then, the shopping guide carefully examined it again with strange eyes, and Bai Yi, who was hiding the special effects of the equipment, said casually, are you talking about poisonous fire ants? That kind of non-advanced stuff is everywhere outside. Quote, even people like me who have failed to change jobs can be directly trampled to death. The kind of things that don't enter the ranks have no combat power at all, and they don't even have the value of cultivation. Bai Yi, cultivate value. After hearing what the shopping guide said, Bai Yi suddenly reacted. I have the SSS level talent, Infinite Alienation. It can be seen from the literal meaning that in front of this skill, there is no upper limit. The characteristic of the epic, Blue Heart, which stimulates the hidden blood, is scum in front of this skill. According to the words of the insect class in the previous life, before the same size, insects completely explode everything. In the face of infinite alienation, perhaps the summoned beasts of the Zerg will have infinite possibilities. As the shopping guide said, the poisonous fire ant that can be trampled to death is the most suitable summoned beast for you. It turned out that the principal of number 3 middle school was right, and he should choose the one that suits him best. After thinking of the Zerg, these bronze-level summoned beast eggs in front of him could no longer enter Bai Yi's eyes. Because the principal of the 3rd middle school has always protected Bai Yi has never been in contact with outside the city. There are not only wandering wild monsters outside the city, but also various dungeons, secret realms, and abysses. Since the shopping guide in front of Bai Yi, a person who has failed to change jobs, can say, poisonous fire ants, that can be seen everywhere. Bai Yi immediately decided to go out and have a look. Under the eyes of the shopping guide, Bai Yi turned his head and left Darunhua in a hurry. Coincidentally, he was the bearded driver just now. Because he was in a hurry, Bai Yi got into the car directly. However, because he had no experience of going out of the city, and because he was almost cheated just now, Bai Yi placed an order directly on the platform, and then he set off. Due to the short distance, the bearded driver started chatting. Boy, you should have just finished changing jobs, right? After hearing this, Bai Yi couldn't help but feel his heart tense. How do you know? It's not that Bai Yi thinks too much, it's the epic sacred object in the beast familiar space, which surprised Bai Yi a little. The bearded driver smiled heartily. Haha, you came out of the number 3 middle school and went to Darunhua in such a hurry, you will go out of the city again immediately. If you failed to change your job, then you also applied for the job at Darunhua, but why do you want to go out of the city again? So I guess, you must have successfully changed your job. You bought a few pieces of equipment at Darunhua and planned to try your hand. Although the bearded driver's laughter was contagious, Bai Yi replied, follow the navigation. At this moment, the smile of the bearded driver froze. Seeing the vigilance on Bai Yi's face from the rearview mirror, he just wanted to say that he is not a bad person. But when I think about it, if I say that, it seems even more difficult to explain. He simply reminded, I advise you to download the dungeon with the tutor of number 3 middle school tomorrow, which is safer. There are not a few students who encounter misfortune every year because of their bravery. The bearded driver saw that Bai Yi, who was holding the phone, did not respond, and just wanted to persuade Bai Yi again. A prompt was received on the mobile phone, drip. Please don't talk to passengers. Master bearded driver. It turned out that it was Bai Yi who reflected this situation directly on the platform on the mobile phone. Although no money will be deducted, scores may be deducted, which will affect the platform's acceptance of orders. As a result, the face of the bearded driver became even darker. Let's say this kid is trying to be brave. He insisted on going out of the city today, and he didn't listen to persuasion. However, he is very cautious about his own safety. Is this kid a genius? Have the pride of being a genius. Actually, the bearded driver master has another identity. He is the tutor of Chingcheng University, and being a driver is just a hobby in his spare time. Because he likes to chat with different people. Out of curiosity, the bearded driver decided to wait in the city to see when Bai Yi would come back. As for tracking Bai Yi, once it is discovered, it is really not clean. Although relying on one's own strength, the possibility of being discovered is almost non-existent. As the tutor of the dignified Chingcheng University, the bearded driver master still couldn't follow up with a student who had just completed a job change. At that time, as long as they wait in the city for a while, students who are not strong enough will definitely be scared to death and come back by themselves. Time passed in a flash, and the gate of Chingcheng appeared in Bai Yi's sight. Bai Yi, who got out of the car, even looked back and saw that the bearded master hadn't followed, so he looked at the city wall. The simple and thick, moss-covered city wall stretches endlessly and can't be seen at a glance. It firmly protects the entire Chingcheng inside, as if bringing Bai Yi back to ancient times. Inside the city is the normal hustle and bustle of the city, while the outside of the city is like an ancient jungle with towering trees. This kind of scene could not be seen in the previous life. If you have a tourist mentality, the outside scene is really charming. But except for the 200-meter grassland near the city wall, the dense jungle covers the sky and the sun, and the light under the trees is dim, like a beast that chooses to eat people. Bai Yi registered at the gate, and once again received a kind reminder that the newcomers should try not to stay away from the city. It is common sense that the closer to the city, the safer. And Bai Yi really didn't think about it, and didn't need to stay away. On the grass just a few tens of meters away, Bai Yi found his target. On the slightly raised grass, there is an ant-hole the size of a bowl. After observing for a while, Bai Yi saw a poisonous fire ant, the size of a fist. It seems that it is not much different from the ordinary ants in the previous life, and the whole body is pitch black. It's just that its size has been enlarged, so that a layer of fiery red fluff on the abdomen and 6 feet is clearly visible. There are also huge mouthparts, like scissors, glowing coldly. It must be uncomfortable to be bitten by this thing. But Bai Yi quickly discovered the problem. The number of poisonous fire ants was not as many as he thought. In the previous life, in a wild ant nest, it is normal for the number of ants to be hundreds or thousands. As for this ant nest, Bai Yi estimates that there are definitely no more than 30 ant nests. It seems that the experience of the previous life still cannot be used to judge wild monsters. Bai Yi quietly stepped on a single one. He could clearly feel the struggle coming from under his feet. If this poisonous fire ant was bigger, Bai Yi wondered if he would be thrown away. Quickly cast, taming, I saw Bai Yi's fingertips, a mysterious formation condensed, directly printed on the head of poisonous fire ant. It is estimated that the IQ of the poisonous fire ant is not high. I saw that it struggled a little, but was successfully tamed, and no longer struggled. Hint: taming succeeded. Get the summoned beast, poisonous fire ant. The moment he succeeded, Bai Yi realized that there was a link between himself and the poisonous fire ant. I can clearly feel the discomfort of the other party. So he quickly let go of his feet, opened the panel and checked the information of poisonous fire ant. Summoned beast, poisonous fire ant not advanced. Level: mature stage, remaining lifespan is 3 months. Strength: 9 inches. Physique: 6 inches. Agility: 6 inches. Spirit: 2 inches. Skills: Bite, Microtoxin. Comprehensive combat strength, half star. Looking at the data, Bai Yi is actually quite satisfied. After all, only the size of a fist can have the average strength close to that of a normal person. If it weren't for the low level and small size, this value would have been amazing. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass. Why is there a lifespan reminder? Only 3 months to live. Bai Yi thought about it carefully. In fact, every summoned beast must have a lifespan. It's just that the lifespan of this poisonous fire ant is too short, so it was marked out. But if the Zerg are all like this, what should we do? If this product has such a short lifespan, it is definitely not worth cultivating. But Bai Yi once again thought of his talent, SSS level infinite alienation. To put it bluntly, improving the strength of a summoned beast is tantamount to a leap in life. As long as I continue to alienate poisonous fire ant, it will definitely not lose to other summoned beasts after its lifespan. Thinking of this, Bai Yi once again remembered a characteristic of the Zerg. Don't look at their short lifespan, but their ability to reproduce is terrifying. Seeing the poisonous fire ants under his feet constantly arching his insteps, an idea suddenly appeared in Bai Yi's mind. If I tame a poisonous fire ant queen and wait for it to lay eggs, will I have a poisonous fire ant army? Anyway, infinite alienation can alienate summoned beasts, and it is more cost-effective to alienate poisonous fire ant queen than the poisonous fire ant under its feet. No, this one can also be kept. This one can be used to practice first, to accumulate alienation experience. As if sensing Bai Yi's thoughts, the poisonous fire ants under their feet no longer rubbed against Bai Yi's feet, but froze in place. Just do it. But now, Bai Yi needs to find a way to get the poisonous fire ant queen out of the ant nest. The easiest way, of course, is to let the one under his feet be a rebellious boy. Bai Yi let it send a signal to his former brothers and sisters. In the distance, there is good food. Let it lure all the poisonous fire ants out. Then let it turn back, and together with itself, dig out the poisonous fire ant queen. According to Bai Yi's plan, the rest of the poisonous fire ants were really tricked out by his rebel boy. Because of his low IQ, he helped Bai Yi find the poisonous fire ant queen with one move. It looks a bit bigger than the normal poisonous fire ant, and the length is almost as long as Bai Yi's forearm, but it is not a worm-like queen. Bai Yi knows that not all queen ants are like worms. They can't even move, they can only eat and reproduce. In Bai Yi's view, there are good and bad. Worm-like queens are definitely more fertile. But now this kind is definitely more powerful. With the blessing of the soul of the guardian's boots, coupled with the help of Anti-Bone Boy. Activate the skill, taming. Hint: taming succeeded. Acquired summoned beast, poisonous fire ant queen. Check out the fire ant queen's panel. Summoned beast, poisonous fire ant queen not advanced. Level: mature stage, remaining lifespan is 18 months. Strength: 18 inches. Physique: 12 inches. Agility: 6 inches. Spirit: 6 inches. Skills: Bite, Microtoxin, Reproduction. Comprehensive combat power, 1 star. Click on the Reproduction effect. Reproduction: 3 poisonous fire ant eggs can be produced every day. This is just a non-advanced skill, and it can produce 3 poisonous fire ant, eggs every day. Even based on the lifespan of 3 months, Bai Yi's army of poisonous fire ants can maintain at least 270. Bai Yi had never heard of a beastmaster who had the energy to train so many summoned beasts. The next step is to go back and try your own SSS level talent. With a wave of his hand, he brought Anti-Bone Boy and the poisonous fire ant queen into the beast royal space. Bai Yi patted the ashes on his body that had just been dug up, and was about to get up and go back. Then he noticed a figure not far behind him. Only then did Bai Yi realize that his vigilance was really bad. Not that it was in danger. It was that figure, none other than the celebrity of number 3 middle school, the school belle Sha Qingshe. Bai Yi pretended to be calm and greeted, "Yo, Bingshan, why are you here?" Bingshan is what Bai Yi calls Sha Qingshe, a misogynist. This is how Bai Yi usually greets her. As a result, Sha Qingshe didn't talk to Bai Yi at all, but just looked at the big hole in the ground, then turned her head and left directly. However, Bai Yi could still see something from Sha Qingshui's disgusted eyes. That look seemed to say, such a big man, he still came to dig out the ant nest. Bai Yi's feeling now is like watching a movie and being caught by his parents. 2 words, shame on you. From the bloodstains on Sha Qingshui's body, one could guess that she had just gone to practice leveling. Such a comparison, other girls dare to kill monsters. And he actually digs out an ant nest here. For a time, there were 3 rooms and 1 living room on the ground. Bai Yi originally wanted to explain, but he didn't know how to say it. Did you tell her that I was catching summoned beasts? But besides myself, who would catch poisonous fire ant as a summoned beast? Forget it, it's better not to explain. At this time, Bai Yi seemed to see tomorrow, and everyone pointed to himself again. But this time I didn't mean that I was a related household, but that I was a dignified 16-year-old beastmaster with S-level talent, and I went out to dig out ant nests if I had nothing to do. As the sky darkened, a gust of cold wind blew past, and various strange and terrifying sounds sounded from the jungle behind him, and Bai Yi hurriedly followed. Although he followed, Bai Yi deliberately kept a distance. Why? Because of embarrassment. Sign up and go back to town. Although it was getting dark, Bai Yi had only been out of town for less than an hour. Bai Yi is usually quite frugal, and it is safe to go to the city, and he is not in a hurry to go back, so he took out his mobile phone, chose a ride, and then went to Durunhua. There is no material for using talent alienation yet. Soon, a car received an order. Looking at the license plate number on the phone, Bai Yi was speechless. Why is it the car of the bearded master again? This is too coincidental, right? And with just a swipe, the car stopped in front of Bai Yi. Haha, what a coincidence, it's you again. Bai Yi looked at the platform information on his mobile phone. This road is a road, and there should be no accidents, so he sat in. Don't give the bearded master a chance to speak, follow the navigation. Mustache master. Seeing that the car wasn't moving, Bai Yi wondered, why don't you drive? Wait, there's another passenger. Because Bai Yi chose a free ride, it's normal for someone to carpool. Only a few seconds later, a familiar figure got into the car and sat in the co-pilot, while carrying a chill that no one should enter. Seeing this, Bai Yi clenched his toes again. Depend on. Unexpectedly, it was Sha Qingshe who carpooled. Sha Qingshe usually walked alone, and Bai Yi didn't pay attention. According to Bai Yi's inertial thinking, shouldn't people like this kind of schoolgirl be picked up by luxury cars when they travel? After thinking about it, I didn't expect that the famous school belle would carpool with others. Thinking of the scene just now, at this moment, Bai Yi felt that it was better for him not to speak, and to pretend that he didn't exist. As if thinking of something, Bai Yi picked up the phone directly. Drip, please don't chat with passengers. Mustache master. Too much, I didn't say anything. Originally, the bearded master wanted to exchange a few words with Sha Qingshe who was at the side. This was not someone who coveted Sha Qingshui's appearance. But from his point of view, Sha Qingshe is definitely a good seedling. The blood on her body represented that Sha Qingshe dared to go to the wild to practice leveling by herself just after her job change. As a result, the words were still brewing, and they were interrupted by a reminder from the platform. There's no way, Bai Yi really doesn't want to be told face to face about digging out the ant nest by himself just now. Fortunately, Sha Qingshe watched the sun move, but her personality was relatively cold, and she kept silent. Bai Yi flew directly to the destination he arrived at first, as if he got off the car and slipped away. After taking a long breath, Bai Yi walked into Darunhua. When I asked about the material, the result was still the previous shopping guide. Seeing Bai Yi come back, this shopping guide is a person who failed to change jobs after all. It's like being at the bottom of the class, and the feeling of looking down on it is not easy to express it clearly. Then thinking about Bai Yi's return, there is a high probability that he borrowed money. So he said again, "Have you decided which summoned beast you want?" As a result, Bai Yi replied directly, "I don't want to summon the beast, I want to see the material." Materials are just a general term, including materials needed for forging, sewing, enchanting, etc. Among them, there are mainly various wild monsters and items that can be decomposed. The shopping guide grinned. Sure enough, there is still not enough money to buy summoned beasts. Then after a while, I can recommend the job transfer loan to him again. The commission of that is much more than buying things. Although Darunhua is large, it has a variety of materials, and there are too many types, and it is definitely impossible to display them one by one. So the shopping guide brought Bai Yi to a living room and handed Bai Yi a tablet. The above are all the materials we have in stock. If you need anything, just tell me directly, and I will bring it to you. Bai Yi looked at all the non-advanced materials above. The price of summoned beasts of the same level must be much higher than the materials. Compared to buying bronze-level summoned beasts, Bai Yi can buy a bunch of bronze-level materials back. So Bai Yi asked directly, "Is there any bronze-level material?" This time, the shopping guide feels that his commission is more dramatic, and the chance of introducing job transfer loan is also greater. Happy to help Bai Yi find the page of bronze material. Compared with non-advanced materials, bronze-level materials have gradually reached their attributes. According to Bai Yi's analysis, although poisonous fire ant has the passive skill, trace toxin. But using poison is not the strong point of ants. Don't talk about bullet ants here, biting thieves hurts and so on. Compared with the ability to support 400 times its own weight and drag 1200 times, strengthening the ability to use poison is definitely putting the cart before the horse. And ants, most likely, have a higher affinity with materials such as soil and wood. So, Bai Yi directly turned to the soil material page, pointed to it, this, and this, all here. Seeing that Bai Yi ordered 10 bronze-level materials in one go, the total value has already caught up with a bronze-level summoned egg. Surprise immediately filled the shopping guide's face. "Hey, okay, just wait a moment, I'll bring it to you. By the way, I am going to bring a bottle of water for Bai Yi." But Bai Yi thought for a while, followed the shopping guide method just now, found the silver level page, and said, "Bring me these 3 silver level ones too." If it weren't for the fear of being asked what to buy by the principal of number 3 middle school when he went back, and he couldn't explain it, Bai Yi would have bought more. But thinking that I can go to the wild tomorrow, upgrade and collect materials at the same time, there is no need to be exploited, so I only chose so many. The shopping guide originally wanted to pass the water to Bai Yi, but when he saw the silver material that Bai Yi was pointing at, he hurriedly and quietly put the water in his hand behind his back. "Hey, okay, wait a moment, I'll ask someone to bring it for you right away." A moment later, the shopping guide came back with a pot of tea. "The reception was not good just now, you drink the tea first, and someone will bring you the materials soon." Here, some people may want to say, isn't it just silver level material? Is it necessary for a shopping guide to look like this? The main reason is that Bai Yi has already revealed his identity before, and he just changed his job today. As soon as he successfully changed his job, he had to use silver level materials. Can this identity be simple? Although I don't know why Bai Yi doesn't want to summon beasts anymore, but this is not something a shopping guide should ask. This shopping guide has been working here for so many years, so he still has some experience. By the way, this is my membership number, just deduct money from here. A total of more than 40,000 was spent. Looking at Bai Yi's successfully logged in membership number, the shopping guide couldn't help reaffirming his vision. From the very beginning, I felt that this kid was nothing ordinary. Fortunately, I didn't pester Bai Yi about the job transfer loan. If this angers others and loses his job, how can he live? Quietly remembering Bai Yi's appearance, the shopping guide decided that in the future, he must make Bai Yi feel at home at RT Runhua. After getting all the materials, Bai Yi suddenly thought, by the way, give me a decomposition skill book. Quote, this skill belongs to street stalls, so the shopping guide simply gave Bai Yi a copy. Bai Yi was also polite and learned directly. Clapping the skill book with both hands, the skill book turned into a little bit of starlight and was absorbed by Bai Yi. Before leaving, the shopping guide did not forget to nod and bow, go slowly, come back next time. Back at the residence, there were 3 dishes and 1 soup from number 3 high school on the table. The food was still steaming, but the principal of number 3 middle school was not at home. After making a phone call and asking about it, I learned that the principal of number 3 middle school had a sudden emergency. That's good, I don't know how to explain it, I tamed 2 ants myself. Bai Yi didn't ask any more questions, and after quickly cleaning the battlefield, he returned to his room. Open the panel. Use skills, SSS level, infinite alienation. 2 frames appeared in front of Bai Yi. Click on the left. Reminder, please select the summoned beast that needs to be alienated. Put the poisonous fire ant from beast familiar space directly into it. Click on the right again. Reminder, please put in the material. After scanning all the materials, Bai Yi thought about it, and chose the bronze grade coyote skin that seemed to be the most suitable for poisonous fire ants. Hint, do you want to perform infinite alienation? Whether, choose, yes. Reminder, in the process of infinite alienation, please select the alienation result. A. Strengthen the feet. B. Strengthen the chest and abdomen. C. Strengthen the overall defense. Reminder, alienation starts and cannot be interrupted, please choose. Obviously, the coyote's skin can only strengthen the defense of the poisonous fire ants. Either separately strengthen, or overall strengthen. Then choose C. Bai Yi feels that the feet, chest and abdomen are the weaknesses of poisonous fire ants. The whole is strengthened. Hint, alienation is successful, constitution +20, strength +6. Oh, in addition to physique, strength has also been slightly improved. It seems that it is not the same as Bai Yi's idea of only adding defense. It is really wise to use the anti-bone boy to experiment. And not only the attributes have changed, this poisonous fire ant has become thicker in Bai Yi's sight. The originally dark and smooth surface of the body seemed to have an extra layer of fine lines like scales and armor. Seems to have found an idea. The material Bai Yi chose this time is bronze-grade giant land turtle shell. Reminder, in the process of infinite alienation, please select the alienation result. A. Strengthen the feet. B. Strengthen the chest and abdomen. C. Strengthen the overall defense. Sure enough, as Bai Yi imagined, the result of strengthening was exactly the same as before. The characteristics of the selected material will affect the final evolution direction. Hint, alienation is successful, constitution +40, strength +8. Moreover, the increased physique this time is even more exaggerated. That means that the quality of the material will also affect the data bonus after alienation. But this is not what Bai Yi wants. I am already an iron bucket now, and what the poisonous fire ant is really good at is not defense. This time, Bai Yi chose bronze level coyote fangs. Put the material in and start to alienate. Reminder, in the process of infinite alienation, please select the alienation result. A. Strengthen the mouthparts. B. Strengthen the feet. This time, there are only 2 options. Bai Yi decisively chose to strengthen the mouthparts. Hint, alienation is successful, strength +20, penetration +5. Oh, this alienation once again broke Bai Yi's imagination. Got a special attribute, penetration. This means that it is easier to pierce the enemy. Bai Yi looked at the poisonous fire ant's head at this time, which occupied a larger proportion and more ferocious mouthparts. It seems that my understanding of infinite alienation is still one-sided. After thinking for a while, Bai Yi directly put all the remaining bronze level materials into the material column. Didn't expect it to be possible. Reminder. In the process of infinite alienation, please select the alienation result. Please like and subscribe.